Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we spill tea left, right, and everywhere in between. Today's video is a mini tea of everything that's been happening on the internet recently. We will talk about David Dobrik getting exposed for supporting an NFT scam, Ethan Klein getting in some hot water over his opinion on the Will Smith Oscar scandal, people getting heated over the Grammys, and more. But before we get into all of the tea, let me plug the Hot Tea Twitter account where you can request any stories that you would like us to cover. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when I post. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down anything you want in the comments down below. Alright, let's get into the tea. So our first cup of tea for the day is about the Grammys and what people on Twitter had to say, because you know, Twitter is where it's at for the best opinions. A lot of people were pissed and confused on why influencers like James Charles and Addison Rae are there. Obviously, popular YouTubers, TikTokers, and influencers get invited to these events because, let's be honest, not that many young people watch award shows anymore. They invite them in order to promote the event and get more people to watch. It's not a secret. Here are some of my favorite hot takes, although plenty of people seem to agree, so I guess they're not unpopular opinions. James Charles at the Grammys, but not Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, and Taylor Swift? I've seen it all. Why take Grammys seriously when Addison Rae and James Charles are attending? The James Charles ones are something else. Honey just said, how is James Charles everywhere other than prison? Why was James Charles there? What can he possibly provide to the Grammys except singing off-key and asking fans creepily for their Snapchat? Someone trolled that Addison won a Grammy for an unreleased pop song, best performance, etc. Quote, I Got It Bad by Addison Rae has won best unreleased pop song at the 2022 Grammys. And one more thing worth talking about in regards to the Grammys, presenters were roasting Will Smith for the situation that occurred during the Oscars. Take a look.
We're going to be singing, we're going to be keeping people's names out of our mouths, and we're going to be giving out awards.
I'm going to present this award, and I trust that you people will stay 500 feet away from me. Just playing.
I want to warn you all that our next presenter is a comedian, if you know what I mean. So, I need to caution everybody, remain in your seats and keep your hands to yourself.
Next, we gotta talk about Ethan Klein being in some hot water lately and addressing all the haters. Some of the hate that he received recently was about his hot takes and opinions on the Will Smith Oscar drama, and he's also been called out by fans for interrupting and dismissing his colleagues. For example, last week he was getting some hate for not letting his coworkers speak when he asked them for their opinion. So let's take a look into what Ethan had to say, as well as Ela chiming in. The other day, Ethan posted a video on his personal channel titled, I Got Cancelled on Twitter, Will Smith and Chris Rock. In that video, he wanted to address the recent comments and opinions that he's received. Basically what happened prior to this video, Ethan and the crew made a podcast episode where they talked about the Oscars drama, and Ethan was quite heated when talking about Will Smith's actions. He tweeted some things as well, and people thought that he's getting a little bit out of hand with this whole situation. However, Ethan is still standing behind what he said in this hate addressing video, but wanted to clarify a few things that were discussed.
I came here basically just to talk a little bit about the Will Smith, Chris Rock situation. We did a whole podcast about it, but I wanted to supplement the conversation a little bit after being called a racist pig on Twitter about, 20,000 or...
He explained that after the recent events regarding Jeff Wittick and Jeff's friend coming to Ethan's home, Ethan felt his family was in danger over a joke. He felt quite passionate over the Will Smith situation. He added that a lot of his friends are comedians and people apparently feel that they can get violent over a joke. He said that even with the given context, the actions are not justified.
As someone who's friends with a lot of comedians who now more than ever people feel emboldened to go attack comedians on stage, it just seems that even with all that context, it just doesn't justify what happened.
Ethan said that he doesn't understand how people are even excusing it.
Enabling violence in this way is insane. I'm against fighting and becoming physical over comments, dude. If he came out and was like, wow, this lady has alopecia, man, it's, if he went on and on, I get it to a degree, but he didn't.
People also were making fun of Ethan, saying that if he was in that situation, if anyone was going against his wife or family, he wouldn't have done anything, saying, oh, I'd like to see how you would react. What would you have done, huh? Ethan responded to that by saying that he's against violence and getting physical in a situation so easily. And then he even went on in detail on what he would do to protect his family, even mentioning having things in his house, if you know what I'm saying, and if anyone wants to try him, they can. And as of not giving the crew room to share their opinions and talk more freely on the podcast, he says that he's a work in progress. He apologized for that and mentioned that he's working on resolving these issues.
No, I have to work on listening better. Okay, that's something I know and that I'm working, and I've been working on. And in the words of Will Smith, I'm a work in progress. And hey, I didn't even punch anybody.
Ethan said that he wants to be a better listener and to improve on that part. Ela was also in the background of the video, and she chimed in to express her thoughts on the things that people were saying toward her as well. One of the things that got her in some hot water as well was this response on Twitter saying, "My husband should punch people for me if he really loves me, right? So I can feel safe and secure, and I should go back in the kitchen while he goes to work to provide for me, right? Hell yeah, good day for us women." She said that this upset her in particular because she would never want Ethan to react like that in a similar situation or defend her in that type of way.
The problem was seeing all these people telling you how you're supposed to protect me. And if you had done something like that would have been such a red flag for me.
She regrets getting herself involved on Twitter though. It's a bit odd to question Ethan on protecting his wife and all that, especially because he's defended her against Keemstar multiple times. As you know, Keemstar has talked shit about Ela's face, calling her horse and straight up bullying her, or other women based on their looks. Then having the audacity to deny doing so. And then all of his fans go on to send Ethan and Ela pictures of horses on Twitter. Remember that whole thing? Ethan, if I remember correctly, defended Ela and even said to Keemstar to go after him only and not his wife. But back to the topic, Ethan got quite worked up because people were telling him that he has no right having an opinion on the matter. He wanted to let people know that he's allowed to have an opinion and express it, and also that he will voice his thoughts if he wants to.
Nobody is allowed to have an opinion about anything. But it's insane logic. A man hit another man for a mild joke, okay? I don't like it. You know, I'm not afraid of talking about serious topics. I'm not afraid of being called a racist either. You can say whatever you want about me. It's all been said about me, and it'll all be said about me 1,000 times more. But this whole notion of like, I'm not allowed to have an opinion about that, well, you can shove that right up your okay?
Ethan continues to say that haters can't stop him from talking about things that he said, and he's not afraid. To quote him, "I'm still educating myself, learning, and growing, and I'm not gonna shy away from having difficult conversation." He seems to be staying firm on that matter, and that if he's gonna be corrected, he's gonna be corrected, but he's also not standing people calling him a racist or letting people paint him in a way that he's not.
You know, change is good, and I'm gonna keep changing, I'm gonna keep learning, and I'm gonna ignore the bull and the haters and all the hyperbole like I've always done. But I just want to make this video as a very special and specific you to all you hater ass.
Ethan did say at times he may do things that are considered incorrect, but that's because of ignorance and not due to him trying to be, for example, racist or careless.
I'm working on it. I have prejudices. I think most people have prejudices that I'm aware of and working on and stuff. Not racist.
So there's that. Ethan is standing his ground. He is firm on his opinion on that situation. But it's good to see that he's at least acknowledging people calling him out and seeing where he can improve. Lately, Ethan has become more outspoken on current topics, and some people find it good and some people not as much. There have been instances where people are questioning him and saying that he is a hypocrite or that he's changed a lot. Certain opinion on him that has been circling around is that he's become what he used to dislike, i.e. a social justice warrior. Some of his longtime fans have noticed that change in him and have expressed their thoughts on that. And finally, let's talk about our main cup of tea for the day, David Dobrik. Lately, he's been a frequent topic, from Casey Neistat's documentary on him, Jeff Wittick potentially suing him, and other ex-members of the Vlog Squad sharing more and more about David and the Vlog Squad dynamic. So what are we talking about this time? Well, it seems like David Dobrik has been promoting an NFT scam, and he just got called out for it. It all started when David posted a story on Instagram promoting NFTs. It was quite an obvious sponsored post and brand deal.
I wanted to get my feet a little more wet with some NFTs, if you know what I mean. So I kind of went to the tippy top of the NFT world. And check this out. I got a board bunny. And not only is it a board bunny, but it looks like me. Look at that. We have the same hat. It's so sick. If you're young and naive, just like my brother, and want to get into NFTs, you should check out Board Bunny. They have literally over 150,000 people in the Discord, so it's like a ginormous group chat. If you're interested at all, just start it on their Instagram page.
A Twitter account named @ZachXBT with quite a decent following tweeted this, saying, "Welcome David Dobrik to the long list of influencers promoting scams." And then the Twitter account made a whole thread explaining why this company NFT Board Bunny is a scam, and it's quite a lot of information, but I'll show you some of the highlights. You can pause to read on these screenshots. I'm not going to be reading them out loud. But to summarize, this account is claiming that a lot of influencers, including David Dobrik, Jake Paul, Floyd Mayweather, and many others, they basically promoted this NFT that ended up losing a lot of its value really quickly. They kept on pumping more and more NFTs, and once people started complaining, the company just ghosted them. A lot of people have said that they're using influencers to promote these schemes in order to flood it with more people and get hype, and such practices make these NFTs lose their value and just leave people high and dry. Also, the influencers are just seeing this opportunity as a quick brand deal. They're not really educated or familiar with the companies that are offering them these deals. It's obvious that they're not doing their research on what exactly it is that they're promoting, and that causes damage to the people that they bring in. In this case, David is getting called out because his audience is quite impressionable. And we know he's done similar things like this before with his puzzle. Technically, it's all legal, but it's shady. And then FaZe Banks replied to one of the tweets with this. He also attached a screenshot of a message between him and his manager, I presume, saying, "They offered me $500,000 to $750,000 upfront for a story post/follow. I think it's worth noting that I didn't make this mistake only because I've taken the time to educate myself. A lot of these influencers take deals brought to them by their management/treat it as a product campaign." And he also provides these screenshots. It's crazy how the first thing that they're approaching him with about this whole deal is the amount of money. Almost no information about the company or idea behind it. I'm sure FaZe asked for further information, but just from this screenshot, you can see how big this company is playing. The thing is, a lot of other influencers probably wouldn't hesitate to take the deal because they would see these big names of other promoters. And the people who see these ads by these big names would think it must be legit if all these people are talking about it, right? Especially young fans, they trust the influencers that they support, and if they're not very knowledgeable, they would take the promoter's word for it. Obviously, everyone should do their own research and decide for themselves. Someone replied to FaZe's tweet saying, "Saddest part is you are one of the very few creators who knows what to do in these situations. Turning down $500,000 bag for future reputation in a new world is not an easy decision." Banks responds saying, "That's the thing, I was introduced to crypto with these garbage brand deals in the first place. I know what it feels like to be on the side of ignorance. That's what this all ultimately boils down to. It's a shame, but I personally know David and I know how this must have went down. Not making excuses for anyone either, just pointing out the fact that this market isn't easy to break into for the average person. It really is a whole other world/language. I spend a lot of time with these types and they're totally clueless." Apparently, David and Banks recorded an episode for David's podcast Views about this topic. FaZe Banks posted a few Instagram stories where he revealed David making about $100,000 off of the deal. He also said that David will try to make the situation right.
Rug pull, garbage, Fiverr project, Board Bunny approached David. They approached me as well, as you saw a few slides ago, and offered him somewhere in the ballpark of $100,000 to promote, one-of-one honorary Board Bunny that they had made for David. David looked at it through the lens of, oh, NFTs are hot, cool, everybody's talking about them, this is art, this is a collectible, I see nothing wrong with shining light to this project and this art and these artists, and that's what he did. Obviously, it left his followers holding a bag. These guys ran off with however much money they made on Board Bunnies in the secondary and on Mint, obviously sucking millions of dollars out of the ecosystem. David got paid, and people got, which is just all bad. So I appreciate David for addressing this so candidly and honestly and openly, talking openly about figures, and just kind of admitting to the fact that he's totally clueless and ignorant to this NFT game, and ultimately, he was paid $100,000 somewhere in that ballpark, and he's ready and willing to distribute that money back into the ecosystem, whether it be to Board Bunny holders, whatever. We're gonna brainstorm that and figure.
It's quite an interesting situation. The world of NFTs and cryptocurrencies have become really popular, but with it, there have been a lot of scams and misleading information. A lot of influencers have been promoting different projects, and with it, people have been wondering if they are researching and know what they're promoting at all. It's a mess. Not sure when this new episode will drop, but we'll stay in touch with this topic, so let me know. Would you like a follow-up on this topic? Comment down below. And that is it for today, you guys. What are your thoughts on all of this? Any hot takes in the Grammys? Do you think David Dobrik will address the NFT scam? Comment down below. And here is a little eye bleach. We upload new videos every single day, so subscribe for more.